Welcome to a playthrough of Sedgwick Attacks, part of the Blind Swords system. This is a simulation of the Battle of Salem Church that occurred in May of 1863 after at the closing of the Battle of Chancellorsville. Here we're going to see the Union forces under Major General John Sedgwick attacking defending Confederates, and kind of an ad hoc defending group of Confederates featuring Thaddeus Wilcox and his brigade, as well as Lafayette McLaws and his division holding a line across the plank road coming out of Fredericksburg, Virginia, and heading towards Chancellorsville and the wilderness beyond. So, in this situation, Hooker, commander of Army of the Potomac, at this situation he has retreated away from Chancellorsville, or is in the process of retreating away from Chancellorsville after being defeated there. Sedgwick's troops are moving up to support him and trying to take some pressure off and establish a line from Fredericksburg out to Chancellorsville. To try to open up and keep the Confederates away from the main body of the Army of the Potomac. So Sedgwick has pushed the Fredericksburg front, taken Marye's Heights, which is just off the board to the right, and now is positioned to move down the plank road and take on the next defenses at Salem Church, just outside of town. Confederates, as I said, Wilcox and McLaws are in position to block him. And in this particular simulation scenario, what we have to do is Sedgwick has to capture or defeat enough Confederate units, put them on the broken track I should say, to get more points than the Confederates. Now we will have some victory hexes. You can see there in red and red-blue, as well as blue. Those are victory hexes. Confederates get 5 points for this one, 3 for this one. U.S. gets 5 points for that one, 3 points again for the 5 points for the Confederates, 10 points for the Union for Salem Church, and then there's another one down here with Kershaw's 15th North Carolina for 3 points for Confederates, 5 points for the U.S. This one, U.S. They get 10 points, I believe, and the same thing for this one over here. Losses, Confederates units, 2 points apiece. Union, 1 point. Artillery, I believe, is 2 points apiece for each one. So again, it's just a matter of getting the most victory points to win the game. Obviously, they're going to try to break this line across the plank road. You can also see there's a little thin maroon line over here. These are improved positions that the Confederates had put together before the battle, and those will come into play as we move along here with it. A couple of special rules on this. The Union automatically activates all their units the first turn. They'll be able to get on board at least within there. They also get 5 victory points at the end, no matter what. So that plays into it as well. Confederates will be getting some reinforcements coming on in the later turns, but McLaws cannot move beyond roughly this line right here, right in front of the improved positions, until the U.S. attacks units either in those improved positions or any of Wilcox's units that are out front over here by the blacksmith shop and this road junction here. Okay, so this play was actually a face-to-face play. I'm going to try to walk through all of the log files to show you how it evolved and what the action looked like as part of the game. So let's get started with that. I think I've covered all the bases with this, and yeah, let's go. So we've got all the chits in the cup, and the first step is going to be the artillery phase. And I think with this one we didn't have any artillery. That guy's a skirmisher right there, highlighting right there. And we're going to move some artillery up, like so. That's 2 Union artillery, that's Parsons and Rigby. They move up, and then the Confederates have 1 artillery that they can move. That's going to be Cobb's artillery over here. I think they chose to just leave it as they are. We're just checking a few hexes here. And yeah, those victory hexes. So now the Confederates get Wilcox. Sorry, got a little ahead of the game there. Wilcox, and he activated. He rolled a 1. So he's actually going to move some of his troops up here. So you can see they're just shifting around troops. I think it was played as a maneuver, just to get them more in line to meet the Union. And then we had a Fortunes of War, which I think wound up being nothing, no effect. And then onward to Sedgwick, and he actually activated. Or did he? Hold on here a second, I just want to look at this. Sedgwick. No, I don't think he did activate. I don't think he did activate on there. So now we have McLaw's coming out, and Wolford's going to maneuver. Wolford's back here on the road. He's going to be moving up. So we'll see them moving up over here. A lot of maneuvering in this first turn, so we'll go through this kind of quickly. And there we go. And there's the final maneuvering. All right, to cover the positions over to the north, Wolford moves up, and then finally to cover Salem Church itself. All right, next one was a Brooks's division. Sorry, Brooks's division. So Brooks automatically maneuvers. Remember, this is the first turn, so Brooks will automatically maneuver. And a double time was played as well. Alright, so Bartlett is going to maneuver. Bartlett's units are down here, 96 PA. They played a double time. And there's no stragglers, so off they go. So this actually boosts their movement to 9, which they can get way around the Confederates. So they move down to the south, crossing in behind the Confederates, trying to force them out of their positions. And you can see them move across. Oh yeah, and then Bartlett also had a heroic stand placed on him early, but that won't come into effect, at least at this turn. Okay, then a CSA command chit was pulled, and that was a rally. There's nothing to rally there. So then we went on to Newton, and he got his units to move, and Wheaton moves forward, kind of following the same paths of Bartlett, but he'll stay kind of in front of them there as well. And then we've got Brooks's unit again, and that's going to be Brown to maneuver. Brown is over here and here. They're going to be coming in along the road, and they're going to maneuver. So they're going to go up and around the Confederates. They're going to go to the north. So we got Bartlett in the south, and then Brown in the north. maneuvering to try to get around them. And then our skirmishers move up right there, along with the other unit. Okay, so next chit drawn is CSA command chit. It's a rebel yell, which Wilcox's units are going to try to charge. They go up here and go after Bartlett's units, particularly the 16th New York. And a little bit of shooting and firing here. The shot hits and one is retreated. And the Confederate with the attack gets a morale hit. And that's it. So then Wilcox is next. And he activates. And he gets an attack. And he's going to shift them around, I believe. No, they're shooting, sorry. They were shooting at these different units. And 5th Maine is hit and has to retreat. So they move back. And then the other units are going to try to shoot up at Brown's units. And they miss. Now for the movement. So the Confederates are moving back, seeing as they've been flanked. They are going to move back and in with other units to get away. So the Union, by maneuvering, Union did what they wanted to do. They wanted to get around the units and force them to retreat, which is exactly what they did. And there we get the skirmishers moving back there as well. Okay. So, oh yes, then they attacked Bartlett over there, and they got battle worn and had to retreat. Okay, next chit was the Fog of War. Rolling a 4, got a, oh yeah, a wayward Confederate movement, and they moved forward towards Bartlett and the 16th New York. So next, moving along, a brigade reserve movement. Brown is going to activate and move his forces as far as they can. Now with the maneuver, they can't move adjacent, so they have to move there. And the other guy dropped his skirmisher. That's why he's staying back there, because it takes all your movement points to drop a skirmisher. So the Union is now positioned around to the north, getting into the woods to the north of the Confederates, as well as pushed them out of the center and taking some casualties over there to the south. So continuing with this, again, more movement. This time it's going to be Russell activating and moving forward. Again, maneuvering, so he's got that good speed. So that's Russell. He fills in the center, and the last one is going to be Newton for the Union, which is going to be the other Brown with an E, moving up his units to fill out the center. Alright, so Union has a nice entrance, a limited attack, force the Confederates back out, but now comes the Confederates. McLaws activates, or tries to, and he fails. And then McLaws again activates. This time it's going to be Mahone He's up here to the north, and he is going to maneuver and head up to extend the flank, the northern flank, just a little bit to keep Brown out of the entrenchments to the south. And then McLaws, the last one for McLaws is to get Semmes. Semmes is going to maneuver, and he's going to move up to a position near the church. Again, remember, these guys cannot move beyond this line until the Union attacks. Alright, so continuing moving on, we get superior artillery, and then we're going to move Wilston's batteries up, and he moves over there, and that gets all the commands. And then we just go into the end of the turn. That's it. So after turn 1, we can see that the Union has successfully pushed back Wilcox and pushed through the intersection that they were controlling and trying to head for the entrenchments just beyond there. But we have McLaws moving up to potentially stop them and try to keep them out of there and maybe even counterattack. So that's the end of turn 1. So hopefully you're enjoying this here. Like I said, it's a quick little playthrough, pretty straightforward little game. Not many special rules with this. We saw one here with the Union maneuvering. It's going to get a little bit trickier for the Union next turn because they're going to have to roll for their activations. Confederates took a little bit on the chin with this, but the Union did as well. We can see the Union has one reduced and shaken, and the Confederates have one shaken unit up here as well. This 8th Alabama is in a little precarious position because they are right in front of the whole brigade of Bartlett's units here, and that could have an effect later on. So hopefully you enjoy this. If you do, please like us, subscribe, comment, and we'll see you on the next one. There should be a number of these. There's 9 turns in all for this, I should mention. So probably somewhere around 8 or 9 videos with this entirely. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next one.